We got life. It's about God. But at the end of the day, we still have to survive in this world, and it's cold. Bundle up.
Growing up, I ain't never had shit. Hard times turn me to a savage. I hustle hard cause I don't wanna be average. All I ever wanted was to be rich. Growing up, I ain't never had shit. Hard times turn me to a savage. I hustle hard cause I don't wanna be average. All I ever wanted was to be rich. All I ever wanted was a couple.
What up? Welcome back to another episode of the Cause and Effect Podcast. This is episode number 11. I'm your host, Chico. And with me is my co-host, Fernando.
What up?
And we are back with another one. Facts. So, what's up, bro?
Everything good, man? What's up with you?
Good, man. Excited. It's getting warm out.
Word.
It's,
Well, it's still going crazy. Hot, cold, hot,
I mean,
cold.
it hasn't gotten cold.
It's about to be cold. It's going to be 60 degrees.
Shit, I'll take that over 50 and 40s.
Yeah.
And I mean, and at the end of the day, that shit isn't that bad. But the heat is a good sign that summer is almost here. And
Sundress is a good sign that summer's almost here.
here we go. Yeah, I know that's what you happy about. You excited about
I'm not excited about it.
sundresses in New York, huh?
Nah, man, I'm a good man, and I might be blind after this episode.
Like, nah, I don't see shit. You seen that? It's kind of like that funny skit Chicklet got. He's with his girl in the car, and they bump into a song. And he's singing, and all of a sudden you see his head start turning, and he breaks his neck for a quick second. And his girl's like, "Hold up, what the fuck was you looking at?" He was like, "Nothing." Funny shit, right? It's funny because it's relatable. It's like facts. I mean, even though I don't go through those struggles or nothing like that, you know. I'm good on that side. Don't give me cricket. Don't give me a fucking look. So yeah, man, what's up? What you been up to?
Not much, man. Just getting big, still hitting the gym.
Oh, so you've been able to stay consistent with the gym?
Of course, man. You knew that.
No, I didn't know that.
No, you knew that. You just being a hater.
Nah, I mean, I actually basically went officially back into my routine in the gym and did leg day. I believe it was yesterday, and that shit was good, but it don't feel so good right now. Like, you know, we got to come up these stairs, and the whole entire time me pulling up, I was like, fuck these stairs. I was just like, nah, I'm not ready for this. I wanted to crawl up them stairs. But it's a good sign. It was good workout. And I want to keep it going like that. I have a schedule set this time on what to work out and what to do throughout the week, so I can stay consistent with that shit.
Dope.
Even though I didn't fall off because I didn't want to go to the gym. I just didn't have the time and a lot of things trying to settle with, new environment, new jobs, new
excuses,
everything. Yeah, fuck out of here. But I mean, I was working out. I just wasn't in the gym. I was doing like house routines with some weights and shit like that. I wasn't really going heavy on that.
Mayo and ketchup bottle?
A little bit of all that.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah.
Bagels.
Nice.
Lifting bagels all day.
That's what's up.
Yeah, man.
Shout out to you.
Every day, boy. Every day. So what's up, man? Last episode we talked about Kanye. Do you still feel the same about Kanye? Like seeing what he's been doing lately and everything that's been going on the news, social media. I mean, he's like the main topic of the main, topic of conversation.
It's definitely drawing attention. Yeah. I mean, it's just certain things that he said that.
Would it be safe to say that that's kind of the point on a little bit of what he's been doing to get that type of attention?
It seems like it. It seems like it, but you never know. With Kanye, you never know.
I mean, that's the thing. You never know, and the reason why we never know is until we see, what's the end? What's the end game? What's the end game that he has in mind? What's the reason for all this, lashing out and saying these outrageous things that are, whether he was trying to say it in a different way or he said it, the way he meant to say it. I don't know what the intentions were, or if he's just speaking out of emotions and no knowledge. But I think Kanye has called himself a genius too many times to be acting that stupid. So I don't think it's not planned. I don't think it's something that's just like, I'm going to just pick up and go. The way he's going about it, it feels like that. But what he's been saying sounds like, he's thought it through. Something that I picked up on. What I said last episode, I'm still standing on it. The only thing that I'm changing is I'm not going to judge him for the way he wants to think, because how everybody thinks differently.
Yeah.
The way he's going about it is where I'm still like, I'm not agreeing with him. I'm just not agreeing with what side and what kind of like attention he's drawing to himself. It makes you think that it's kind of like trolling. Like he's trolling, like how Tekashi came about.
Yeah.
Talking about he's the best, or, doing all that, he's the king of New York, and just doing a lot of things that were shocking. Like, what the fuck? And gaining people to want to click on it to see what else he got to say. What else is he saying that sounds crazy, that this nigga's ballsy to say, enough to say. And I believe, he does believe in certain things that he's saying. At the same time, I think that he's doing what any person trying to sell something and gain attention would do, is just, do outrageous things, get people to talk about him, and then boom, June comes, he drops his album, crazy numbers. Right? Like, what else can you come to your mind when it comes to what he's been doing?
No, man. I mean, it's just Kanye, and he's always done this. Well, at least the new Kanye always done this, not the old Kanye.
and I don't want to stay too long on him.
Yeah, please.
Because I think he's been gaining
too much.
For the little, attention we get on our podcast right now at the moment, I don't want to spend it all on him. He's gained enough of it. But it's just something to talk about, because we can take that and apply it to what, not just the music industry, but everything is being sold today, where people are like saying outrageous things, and it's like their way of trolling online to get people to click on their shit. And I think Kanye picked up on it. I think he was like, you know what? I'm going through all these things. The media's talking about this. Kim is always in the media's mouth. Him being in a sunken place, so to speak, or whatever. He's using that to his advantage and saying, you know what? My album's coming. I'm gonna go with this. This is what I'm gonna do.
I told you last episode we gotta try something like that.
Yeah, nah. I'm good. I keep my integrity in the meantime, But I just I got mixed feelings, because Kanye's a great artist. I love his music, and I think the reason why I've been so disappointed in him is because I didn't expect him to do any of this. I don't think anybody has. That's why they're talking about him.
Yep.
And
you're not the only one that feels that way.
It makes you think like, all right, was this guy really the guy that I listened to back in the day when he was talking about all the struggles and all the things he went through when he went through that car accident, to when his mother died, to him talking about Chicago and talking about society and the people and all these things that he wanted to contribute. And now it's like, all right, bro, you're playing the other side now. The only thing that come to mind is that he's really just trying to approach the Jesus approach, where you love your enemies, and you the only way you can infiltrate is by becoming one of them. That's the only thing that because you remember J. Cole's album Born Sinner. If you remember that album, and if you if you didn't really listen to the album that much, go back to it and listen to, I think it was Vilmatic, Vilmatic or something between that. One of the last songs in the album, he talks about apologizing to his mother and saying, I had to get in to make a change. I had to become one of the people that I didn't want to become, the people that I talked about, to be able to get in the circle and create some type of change inside. I had to infiltrate.
Gotcha.
And I had that thought. I said, he could be trying to infiltrate whatever he's trying to infiltrate. And I had a discussion with somebody on Instagram and text messages where they were like, why don't you agree with Kanye? What's so confusing, or what is he saying that's wrong? And I'm like, really? I mean, because I don't think people were enslaved by their choice.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
If he meant it a different way, he should have chose different words.
I think he didn't really think about what he was going to say at that moment.
No, he thought he knew what he was saying. He thought he had made a clear point, an example, which was a very bad and poor choice of words. You know what I mean? Like, he was trying to put that as an example of us being imprisoned in our minds today. He should have just said that instead of saying that slavery was a fucking choice.
Mm-hmm.
Because it definitely wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
And, I think that's very disrespectful for people that have close family members, because there's some people that say, well, you didn't go through that. You didn't live through the slavery. No. And, I can't say that I'm not grateful that I didn't go through those things, because I can imagine terrible things that people had to go through, and maybe still go through this to this day in other different countries that we're not even aware of. That still goes on today. But such a touchy subject for you to just say that, that's where I'm disagreeing with how he's going about his method of free thought. Now, the reason why I brought up Kanye is because I wanted to ask you, when he says free thought, because that's what he's saying. I want to be the example of free thought. I want to be free and just free thought. What does that mean to you? What's your I got the definition online of what it's supposed to mean. What do you think he means by free thought?
Funny that you bring that up, because when was it? Yesterday. Yeah. Yesterday I was looking up those videos and I was listening to that conversation he had at TMZ.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about that. I'm like, okay, free thoughts. You just speak your mind out. But then again, it's like,
it has to be deeper than that, no?
Yeah.
As soon as it's not speaking your mind out. I mean, it could be that, but then that means that you're just speaking off of your own beliefs or perspective, and you're not gathering enough information to kind of be a little bit more considerate of what you're about to say. And obviously it has the word free on it. So how free is that thought?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's confusing to me, because I just don't understand why that free thought has to associate with politics and everything like that. Why can't you have a free thought and not be associated with any party, any politics, any religion, just free? Because that's what I thought it was. So I looked online and I said, well, I want to see the definition of what's online. And it says, thoughts unrestrained by difference to authority, tradition, or established belief, especially in matters of religion. So, what comes to mind when I hear free thought coming out of Kanye? It makes me think the opposite of this.
Well, that wasn't free at all. He's gonna end up paying for that.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people.
He lost
upset.
a lot of people.
So he's definitely gonna end up paying for that one. There was nothing free about it. And I mean, it goes to anybody. You know, like once you say something, it's out there. Once it came out of your mouth, that's it. It's out there. Now you have to suffer the consequences of.
Now it's not like you can't backtrack. It's recorded. It's online.
Exactly. So you know, it's not that you can take back or whatever, or make people forget what you said. Like you know, it's out there. So you're if you said something good, then good for you. But if you said something and you fucked up, you're gonna end up paying for it.
Yeah. Even though obviously we all have, the right to make mistakes.
Yeah, of course.
But at this point, it just doesn't feel like some kid that's 15 years old talking out of pure anger or emotions. It sounds like a man that's he's trying to become an example of a free thinker, but I don't agree on how he's going about it, man. Free thought, I don't think you should be associated by any political party. And when I hear free thought, I feel like it just goes against whatever society. And I can get where he's trying to bring that and with Trump in the picture, kind of saying like, yo, everybody's not for this guy. I'm gonna go against it because it feels free to do so because I'm just trying to exercise my free thoughts. But at the same time, you're hurting a lot of people that are also being affected by this. And I think there should be some type of balance when you're trying to prove whatever point that he's trying to prove or do. I heard he's dead serious about running for president. Like dead serious.
Okay, so he's still really serious about it.
No, he's running for president.
Well, he just lost a lot of voters.
I don't know. That's where I imagine. All right, let's say Kanye goes against.
He probably gained some of Trump's voters.
That's what I'm saying. Like, but look at it like this. Imagine it was like Kanye running against Trump for presidency. Who you voting for?
I don't even know, bro. I honestly don't. I'm just frozen in my mind. Don't even ask me that question.
It brings a hard. I thought it was hard to pick between Hillary and Trump. I don't know, my nigga.
I don't know.
I would have been like, fuck voting, bro. Like, who's next? Who else is on there? Who else is running? But I hope he has some sort of end goal with all this for himself, that he's just not doing this for the sales. Obviously the sales on the album is for himself, but what I mean is that he says he's on a journey, a spiritual journey and all this stuff. And if you can't, what can you say to somebody that says they're on a journey, a life journey for themselves? Like they're working some things out within their inner self, whatever it is, man. I just hope he finds whatever it is that he's trying to achieve, and hopefully he doesn't destroy his entire legacy. And maybe that's a part of his journey. Who knows? So moving on to other things.
Yes,
man.
Please. Done with Kanye.
We congratulated Meek Mill. We shouted him out last episode as well. On the positive side, we see that he came out, and like we said, he came out. He did the whole thing. He got flown out in a helicopter. He landed in the Sixers game. Showed up, rang the bell. Was his son. It was a good look for him. Definitely was a good moment. A good moment. Now he's really trying to work on what he said, which was reforming the system, the jail system, and trying to help people out in those predicaments maybe that he was in, that don't have a voice, that don't have the luxury of having people like Jay-Z, you know, having the media behind him. He's trying to speak for the voiceless, like he said. I think it's a dope look.
Oh wow.
You know, how to use your influence
Dope.
and your power. You know, I always say, like, once we get to a platform where we're big enough to influence a larger crowd and different people, I would definitely want to contribute on things that need to be talked about and done, man. And I think that's what the point is: gaining influence. You know, doing something to change things that need to be changed, things that need to be better, improved, and instead of, you know, making it worse and setting us back a couple 100 years, you know, I think we're pushing little by little different things forward. And the jail system is a big thing. You know, it's kind of like the modern way of enslaving people. It's just not um, black people, even though the jail system is composed of, you know, a majority of blacks and Latinos. Like, the percentages are very high. So there's people that have, you know, small charges compared to other people that have mad time. We're talking about half their life for things that could have been, you know, misdemeanors or less time, you know. So working on that and hopefully finding something to change those systems, and at least educating people and and showing them ways to not come back. Because when you a lot of people say that. What were you gonna say?
No, just saying, and hope that they help the right people.
Yeah, and you know, anybody could be the right person, because everybody needs some type of guidance and forgiveness and second chances, right? I just believe that
some people
yeah.
people never change.
Well, that's not up to us. It's up to us to just give people a fair trial, a fair try, and a, you know, benefit of the doubt, and like
for
I said,
example,
people will hang themselves.
there was a guy, and there was some kid, I think it was in Brooklyn, something like that. I don't know where. I know it was in New York. Well, he got locked up for raping.
Yeah.
Sexual assault, and some young kid, and got locked up. Whatever, they let him out. He was supposed to be out. They let him out, thinking that he was gonna be good. Like, within a few weeks, already back at it, the same thing again, and they caught him on camera, and that's it. He's locked up. He's not coming out. So I mean, sometimes, like, you know, people, they kind of trick you and they make you feel, or they get away with things saying, oh, like, you know, they're not gonna do that again or whatever. Yeah. They change and this and that, and they just go out and do the same thing. Then somebody has to get hurt just to prove that.
I mean, and like I said, every situation is different, and everybody gets their own trial, benefit of the doubt. But I don't think everybody should pay for somebody that doesn't know, you know, when an opportunity was given and them trying to change their life and turn things around. I also believe that there's some people that are sick in the head, bro. There's some people that have certain things that need work, and releasing them out of jail might not be the best thing, but putting them in a center where they can get, you know, checked out, talk to somebody, and kind of like see where their mind's at and see if they're fit to go back into society and you know, contribute something to this world. And like, that's what I mean by having like some type of fair trial, benefit of the doubt, which there's some people that done less than raping somebody and haven't gotten that opportunity, you know, to go back out there and give it another shot. There's some people that get too used to the jail system, and they become a part of that life, and when they come out in society, they don't know how to fit. They don't know how to function. So what happens? They self-destruct, do the same thing to go back into where they felt comfortable.
Get themselves in, yeah.
So it's a
there was a movie about that.
What is it? The Ninth? No, isn't it The Ninth?
It's an old movie. Oh. I forgot the name of it. And there was these old. When they got out, they were old already. Like, they got locked up when they were young. They got out when they were old, and like, they just couldn't deal with it. Like, they couldn't handle it. Like, you know, damn, I really want to remember the name of that movie. But I know one of the guys. He came out. He tried to be good and put him in a safe house. No, not safe house. What's that name of that? They put you in a.
You're talking about the Eddie Murphy movie?
I don't think
the one
so.
that the one that they got caught. It was kind of like in the racist times where him and
he had
Martin.
Did they had a library?
Oh no! I'm confusing. Why am I confusing those two? Oh, that's the one that he escapes. He escapes. That he got caught. He basically killed his wife and the guy she was cheating on him with.
Yeah.
That's the story. But the story behind that was that somebody had tried to rob them, and ended up killing them and framed him. It's called Andy Dubé, something like that. The name of the other guy that's in jail. And one of the guys that
I think it was actually a true story too.
I don't know about that, but I know that the guy you're talking about was a viejo, that old man that was there for 50 years, and he got out. He they made him work in a supermarket.
They got him out because of good behavior. Well, he got a job at a supermarket.
No, they give you those jobs. That's like a little program. They put you in one of those little houses, in those apartment rooms, whatever. He was living there. He was working in that supermarket, and he just couldn't function. Things, the things has changed too much, and he was way out of touch with society, and he ended up hanging himself.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean,
there's some people that kill themselves. There's some people that go back into jail and end up dying in jail. Basically suicide at the same time.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, shout out to Meek Mill. I hope to see and be more updated on what he's doing. I know there's a documentary that's coming out following everything in his story. I think that right now where the attention's at him, and he's using the right time, the resources, the people behind him, the platforms that he has to kind of like be the voice of, like he said, the voiceless. So shout out to him. We're going to give him a round of applause. Kanye got to take some notes from this dude, man. So, and that goes in with, the topic for today, man. Not giving up, endurance. I heard something online, somebody that I love listening to his podcast. I love listening to following his social media, because he's always throwing out stuff out there that are just real life facts and things that we can apply to everything we're doing. Andy Frisella, he said something about endurance. Endurance is basically the key to success. Some people quit too soon. The difference between the successful and the non-successful is endurance and the tough skin, and that's what I wanted to talk about, man. Like, not giving up. I think not that I know we're in a place right now where we give up too soon. We don't give ourselves the time. We're impatient. We want everything to happen tomorrow.
Microwave effects.
Yeah, and we've talked a little. I believe we talked a little bit about this on other episodes, and everything is it kind of like just intertwines with each other because we all need all those little pieces to get results and get the things that we want.
Yeah.
So, how do you not, give up? How do you not break, and keep going? I'm sure you probably have moments that you want to give up. Maybe the gym, maybe, your job, your relationships. We can go on for hours.
Yeah, it happens to everybody.
Yeah. And then obviously, we have our little own battles. So what are some things that help you? Maybe you don't even recognize those things, and maybe right now you'll think about it and say, "Oh shit, this or that." What kind of helps you, keep going?
I really don't have an answer, man. Like, it's just
discipline. What?
Yeah, it's just basically the discipline that you already have. It all depends on your character and the type of person you are. That's what I think. Depending on whether it's something important to you, or if it's something that's important to you, obviously you're gonna do whatever it takes. Even though you feel like giving up at the moment, you're gonna be like, you know what, brush it off, keep moving. If you really care, if you don't really care much for it, it's just gonna go.
You're just gonna stop.
Yeah.
Naturally, you're just gonna slow down.
Give up and let it be.
You start making little excuses here and there on why you can't do it right now. Yeah. That's a good one. I was, while you were talking, I was trying to at the same time think of kind of an answer as well, because we hear all these things. We hear all these motivational talks and these inspirational quotes, and even ourselves, we repeat a lot of the things we hear, read about. We kind of have we have basically the same crowd, and we kind of are into the same thing. So we hear a lot of the same things, and we've been around, certain people. But it didn't click to me. Like, to this day, I'm looking at, little things that fuel me to not give up. And the one main thing is just my word, man. Like, that when I speak and say something, and even if it's to one person, I said, yo, I'm dropping this much pounds by this much time. Like, I'm trying to get in shape. And I said it to one person. That shit just plays in my head. Like, it just plays in my head that I said that to that person. It's just like accountability.
Yeah.
I think accountability has held me through a lot of obstacles. Another thing is disappointment. Me and my girl were talking about fear. What are our fears? What's your fear? I think we all have different type of fears. There's fears that are like lethal, that you're scared of certain insects or animals. Like, you have these fears, or you have all these different things that you could be fearful of. But when it comes to like success in life and me, I always say the same thing. It's just being a disappointment. Being a disappointment to the people that mean something in my life.
Yeah.
And
un ratrero.
Yeah. Un charlatan. Like.
No, never that. Never that. I can never be that. And it's true, bro.
Yeah.
It's dead ass. Like, it's something that there's something that's also in my mind. It's like I cannot, like, and it's not like, like you see it, you see that going on in people, and I think that it's not like I'm bashing them or whatever. Like, it's just it's just, bro, that can't be me, and I'm gonna do whatever I have to do to not be that. Point.
Yeah, and this is the thing, my okay, how do I say, like, my mistake was that kept me in a funk for a while was that I felt a disappointment because, like, I said to people, oh, I'm going to make it happen doing this, or I'm going to do this, right? And the decision was to be in a better position. I put my weight on so much, just the things that were going to help me, that when those things fell through, I felt like, damn, I'm a disappointment. How I can't do this shit. Like, how am I going to be able to show my face? And little by little, I just started taking a different approach and a different mindset, when I was just like, well, the point was to get out. The point was to move forward. The point was to achieve these goals.
Grow.
So the decision was, I need to make this happen no matter what or with what. Ideally, you want to make it happen. Like, a lot of people go to college and they say, well, I'm going to be successful by going to college. But things don't happen that way, and you end up having to work and not being able to go to college, and you say, shit, my plans went to hell. I got nothing. What happens? Do you just stay that way, or do you find another way? You find another way. Yeah. So I don't believe that it's giving up when you don't do it with what you said you were going to do it, as long as you do it. Because let's face it, there's some things that might not change. Work out.
You're not God. Your plan is not going to fall through 100%.
That's why it's God's plan. It's God's plan.
Yeah, you
it's not
can't.
yours. Like you can have
It's like JC says. You want to make God laugh, so tell him your plans. Like it's not gonna work out.
It's not.
I mean, you're gonna go. You have a path. You're drawing a path for yourself in your head of what you feel like is gonna be like. But at the end of the day, like.
But I believe God has His own way of doing it for you. And I mean, God doesn't put these dreams in your head for no reason. Yeah. You don't have them for no reason. You can achieve them, but sometimes it's just not the way that you thought it would happen.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like it might not come through your college degree. It might not come through that business you're building. It might come through the connections you're building through that business. That business might fall through, and then you develop a new door to get you to that new level. And that's where I had to understand. Now. I don't give up on those things. I just understand that if I made a decision just because those things fell through and didn't happen, or I wasn't able to work through those systems that I was trying, I should just stop and just say, well, if it didn't happen there, it's not going to happen anywhere else, so I might as well just stop.
No.
Right? It's like it's like what they say, like you got a flat tire, what you going to do? Pop all other three just because one pop? Like, no. You're gonna get a donut. You're gonna put it on there. You're gonna try to get to the next, tire shop and put a new tire in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
Or you might just rock it for the rest of the week until you get paid.
Yeah, 100%. That's the story of my life. Yesterday, I had before yesterday, or was it yesterday? It was one of these last 2 days, bro. I went through the only mission, and I'm gonna go a little off track, but it'll fall right back in. I went through the only mission. So I'm studying to get a certain license. Mm-hmm. And that's a part of my plan on certain things that I'm trying to do.
Yeah, it's a stripper license, by the way.
There's no such thing. What are you talking about?
Just kidding. Keep going.
So, I'm doing all these things, right? I have to study. I gotta get these things done. I got a flat, not one, but two on the same side.
Get heavy.
So I'm like, all right, I gotta do this right now. So I go and get, one tire plugged. The other tire had a bubble, and I thought that bubble was not the reason for it leaking. I thought it had a nail or something, and it was the tire had a little hole already in it, and it was letting out air through the bubble. So it wasn't going like completely empty. It was just going like day by day lower and lower. Mm-hmm. So the guy says that you can't repair that. And I had another tire in the back of my trunk, and I said, I got another tire. We never found out why this tire was letting out air, but let's try this one. We put it on. This motherfucker has a crack, bro, on the side, not on the part where you can patch it, on the side. So he looks at me. He says, "Look, we can try to patch it, but it's not guaranteed it's gonna work." Yeah. I said, all right, I got to order these tires because it's a Mercedes, and the tires aren't that easy to get. He didn't have any tires, the same tires that I had. He had a different brand, cheaper brand. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, okay, let's just patch it. If this holds me through the week, I can order the tire. Boom, we do that, pay the dude. First, we try to, you know how you try to move one tire from the back to the front? Yeah. Both my tires are both different sizes. The two in the back are different than the ones in the front. The ones in the back are bigger than the ones in the front. Yeah, they don't have the same tires.
They come. Your car is all-wheel drive.
They come with two different tire sets.
All right.
So
that's weird.
We had to change it because the tire was hitting and it wasn't turning.
It was rubbing.
Yeah, it was rubbing against whatever. So, boom, we do that. We have to change it again. I leave. I go home. I get a car wash. I'm regretting it. Or I was regretting it once I got the car wash because I said it always rains when I get a car wash. So I get the car wash. I go home, get ready, and I'm going to Starbucks because my house is too loud. I want to study in peace, so I put my headphones on, put some jazz, and I study that way.
Oh yeah, Tom and Jerry music in your head?
Yeah, man, just some classics and shit. No. But the point is,
you put some new Kanye's music. Scoopity scoop, scoopity scoop, scoop, scoop.
Yo, I'll go crazy, man. Listen, bro. You know what's crazy? And just because you mentioned that shit, I heard that song, right? And I was feeling the beginning, but as soon as that happened, my nigga, I wish you would have seen my face. My girl looked at me and said, "What happened?" I had the only shit face, bro. I was so pissed. I was like, "This nigga thinks we're stupid. Like, he really is trolling us right now." Right. Like he really is like fucking with us.
All right, let's get back. Let's get back
to the point.
Yeah, we do this. We do this normally. this
it's cool.
This happens.
It's cool. It's interesting though. So I'm going to Starbucks and I notice my tires are going empty, but the front one. God. And I'm not talking about like little by little. This shit is speeding, and I'm like, holy shit. So I'm already by Starbucks. I gotta turn around, my nigga, and it's kind of getting into traffic time. And I'm over here dodging people, like, whoa. And the tires, I got to the tire spot, long story short, I got to the tire spot with like 5 PSI.
Oh my God. It was on the rim, nigga.
Bro, 5 PSI. I pull up, and I look at the guy and say, yo, nah, this shit ain't work. He was like, yo te dije, papi, yo te dije. Like, he was like, yo te dije, papi, yo voy a trabajar. And I'm like, all right, man, where's that tire you showed me? I'm going to have to put that tire. Put the tire on. Completely different tire. $50 on it. He didn't give me a discount. Niggas ain't give me no discount. They said, you wanted the patch, we gave you the patch. Now you want the tire, we're going to give you the tire. No discount. I'm like,
fuck you with
okay. Tato, just put this shit on because I gotta get going. And that's my tire story, man. I had to do all that. I get the tire. I got the car washed. That tire is the only tire that's dirty. All the rims are clean. So I gotta go home, clean the tire. Then, the car is clean. I clean the tire on my own. I go to study. I get it done. My point is, I didn't fuck up all the other tires and say, well, this one tire isn't, working. Let me change all 3. Let me just self-sabotage myself and just fuck everything. Like I had to work with what I had. I had to make it happen. I had to, figure it out because it wasn't an option. The point was I still needed to get done whatever I needed to do.
Yeah.
And it might not have been the best analogy for some people. Like, yo, nigga, I just want to, you just told me a whole fucking story about the damn tires. I just need to vent for a quick second, and I felt like it would fucking work. Like, but, hey, the point is, man, I got it done.
He's like, nigga, I feel like buying tires now, nigga. I don't even know what you're talking about.
These tires, the holes out here, I'm talking about the potholes. Savages. But that's my point, man. You can't we tend to self-sabotage as soon as something doesn't go our way. You know how many people I know that went to college and they couldn't figure it out, they couldn't get a job in that field, and they just decided to settle?
Mm-hmm.
Where there's other people that said, well, this college degree opened the doors for an income. Now let me go and do my own thing with this, and while I figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Let me go and work a job that could pay me what I'm worth for the moment, and let me go find my real worth and get this popping. Because we're not handicapped. Like even the people that are handicapped are finding a way of getting it done.
Yeah.
So what's your excuse? So I mean, that was just my quick rant, man. That's just my thing. I just need to say that I don't knock anything that anybody does, man. If you're happy doing what you're doing, continue doing it. If you're unhappy, you're not a tree. You can fucking you're not a tree. You're not stuck in one place. You can go out and do something about it. That's what one of my mentors, Jim Rohn says. I don't know his last name like that, but I listen to his audios all the time, and he says, if you're not happy with your life, you're not a tree. You're not stuck and rooted into one place. You can go out and change something in your life. So don't quit, man. Don't quit. And changing what you're using to get to the goal doesn't necessarily mean you're quitting. See, a lot of people want to tell us that we're quitting because, whatever we're doing right now, might not be it for us. That's where I feel like I didn't understand. Like I didn't understand what to do. Because then people say, well, it's just not working out for you right now. You got to keep going. You can't quit on it because how are you gonna know? What happens 5 years from now? What if you keep doing it and it actually works? Right? Let's say you do that and it does work. Good for you. But what if it doesn't? So, I mean, I'm not trying to be the person that says, what if it doesn't? Because I always think like, what if it does work? But what I mean is that it doesn't apply to every single person. I just don't think that it applies to every single person. I think that the reason why we have free will to do whatever we want is because we might not just fit into one thing. We might have to figure it out somewhere else, you know, and we might have to figure out somewhere else. We might have to go somewhere else to figure out that that's not the wave, and that what we were doing currently was the wave, and we got to go back and now take it seriously and do it the right way. You know what I mean? But the point is that you shouldn't stay stuck in one place just because you think that that's the only option.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, one of my mentors also said, putting your eggs in different baskets sometimes isn't the best thing. If, you know, sometimes you just got to go out and find a good basket. One good basket to put your eggs. But I think you won't realize that until you figure out what the trash ones are. You know, like for some people they won't know what the trash ones are until they go out and do it. So I mean, the goal is to progress. The goal is to achieve and to experience new things in life and learn from those mistakes. The only way you're going to do it is by fucking up and going out and doing something. So don't give up. You know, the point is that you might not be doing, like I said, with what you started with, but the point is you don't give up. You keep fighting for your goals. You keep fighting for the results that you're looking for. You don't just stop somewhere and stay, you know, flatlining just because you're scared of people saying, oh, you quit on that, man. I told you that wasn't going to work. It's not for them to dictate where you do with your life. It's up to you to say, you know what, maybe right now this isn't working for me. Let me go out and try to figure it out and just get myself going again. Even if I come back to this and really do it and take it serious, you know, next time around, let me just get out of this funk. Let me go out and figure things out. Let me gain some new perspective.
You're right.
You know, so don't give up, motherfucker.
Oh, shit.
That's the point, man. It's just get it done. Get it done, man. So we're going to go into the note to self, man. Note to self. I hope everybody enjoyed their weekend, by the way.
Cinco de Mayo.
You know, a lot of people out here. What the fuck was that? Good one. I mean, that was a good one. I don't know how accurate that shit was. I don't know if you offended somebody by doing that shit, but
I don't know.
You know, I know a lot of people are gonna go out and celebrate.
I'm a cholo too.
Mayo. You know, a lot of people were talking about, you know, make America great again, build that wall. And now a lot of them are the ones going like, let's go celebrate Cinco de Mayo. Get the fuck out of here.
Everybody loves Cinco de Mayo.
So I mean, yeah, everybody loves what's popping.
Everybody loves a drinking excuse. Period.
Any way to go out and drink is always a good excuse to go out and drink, no matter what it is. So I mean, I hope everybody enjoyed the weekend. Be safe, and reset. Mondays here.
Before you say bye.
No, I'm not saying bye.
Note to self.
You gotta say the note to self Monday.
Yeah.
I'm just letting people know to enjoy their fucking
the
weekend.
The note to self falls back before you guys forget on what Chico was saying. So basically, the note is success is going from failure to failure without losing your intuition. So basically, what Chico just spoke about.
Just get it done, man. Just don't quit. Keep focused. The prize is the prize, and it's not gonna change, even though the vehicle that you were using to get there does.
Yep.
So, shout out to our followers.
You know, I always forgot. I always forgot to bring that point out.
Yeah.
That audience that you have clapping for us, like there's one that whistles at me, like. I mean, it whistles at us. It's like, whee, like, I don't get it. Like, why is he whistling like that?
We some good-looking dudes. Keep it like that. It's just...
Yeah, and to those who are saying, oh, this guy's corny. Yeah, I'm corny like that. It's okay.
This one better?
That one's better. Yeah, nobody's really like, whee, like.
You feel uncomfortable?
Yeah, a little bit. It's like a guy's whee, like. All right.
You like that one?
Está bien.
Shout out to everybody that takes the time out to listen to the podcast. Like we say in every single podcast, man, we appreciate you. Hit us up with some feedback. So show some love and share this with somebody, man. We don't ask for much. We're not getting paid to do this, but we do feel like it's worth every penny of what we either spend to get this done and whatever the case is. to deliver it to the people that listen. Just share it to somebody else, man. Let them know that there's some kids from Paterson, New Jersey out here doing some good things. And yeah. You got anything to add to that, bro?
No.
All right, man. So, hey, listen, we got it done, man.
We good, man.
We got episode number 11. We here. It's hot outside. Fernando's gonna go out and check some sundresses out. I'm gonna go out.
Oh my God.
And just stay home and be good. Just stay away from the bullshit.
It's completely the opposite.
No, that's facts. The facts. So, with that being said, guys, we're going to end it on that note. Follow our Instagram, Facebook, and SoundCloud. Oh, disclaimer. We've been having some issues with our YouTube account. We're going to get that shit straight away. Our last episode wasn't able to get uploaded on the right time. We're still working the things out to make that happen. But in the meantime, SoundCloud is where it's at. We're going to have the link up on our bios, and we'll have YouTube up and running. Today's, shout out goes to King Nels. That was the song playing in the beginning of the podcast. Somebody from out of Paterson, like we always play, talent from out here. He's from out here doing his thing. He has some great music. He has kind of like that speaker knockers, kind of like, it just reminds you of that cadence, like that flow. But he definitely has his own swag to it. So shout out to him. And yeah, we out of here.
Peace. Scooby-Dee-Doop.
Yo, you gotta get the fuck out of here with that.
I've been busy on the road. I've been getting to the dough. I don't really need no friends. They be hating on the low. Remember that bitch try to play me. Now my nigga finna blow.
Tunnel vision
on the hoe. Tunnel vision on the hoe. I've been busy on the road. I've been getting to the dough. I don't really need no friends. They be hating on the low. Remember that bitch try to play me. Now my nigga finna blow. Tunnel vision on the hoe. Tunnel vision on the hoe. Tunnel vision on the hoe. Tunnel vision on the bitch. Young nigga getting rich.
I gotta open the door. It's hot.